All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, so today, I don't even know what the date is. It is the 14th. So this is our team call if you are watching the recording. Just a few things, more like relaying a bunch of information this week. Let me close the door. So first thing is just making sure that everyone knows what's going on the rest of the month. In case you're doing the same thing or you want to do something different, that's fine. But next week, is everyone planning on participating in the sneak peek? Yeah. We will host another one of those this week. And then if you see Micah's post about doing Backstage Pass, have you guys seen that post? Information. I don't know how many of you have gotten home from work and been able to look at all your notifications and stuff, but she has talked about doing something called a Backstage Pass, which is from a video, and I shared the video on our team page, I believe, last week, and it was from Meg. I cannot remember her last name, but she does these Backstage Passes, which is basically like a one night or one day thing for people to find out about coaching. So some people, don't have the time to go a whole week in a sneak peek. And for some people, it's nice that it's not like an information overload. It's just like, every day is like one or two posts. So it's a little bit easier for people to keep up. But others only have an hour in a day to get any kind of information. So a Backstage Pass basically is either it's an 8-hour time frame, a whole day where people can check in throughout the day, or it's a 1-hour thing. So what Mike is doing is a 1-hour Backstage Pass, and coaches are on her whole team. If any of you guys want to, we're going to host our own after this week, not this week, for the week after, and we can discuss a good day for everybody, but probably late like this, like 7:30 or 8, maybe even later, like 9, so people who have kids can have their kids down, going to bed and all that, and be up and about and ready to hop on. But it's basically just an hour, and every couple of minutes, a coach posts something different. Something about compensation, something about what is coaching, something about, their own testimonial or, just everything that we do in a sneak peek, but it's kind of like smaller and it's broken down into like really short videos. So for Micah, it's every 8 minutes, a different coach is posting a video in there. And so these people are just hopping onto the event, and every 8 minutes, they're going to refresh their browser and they're going to be able to see a different video and a different little blurb of information, so that they can kind of just get, a really quick behind the scenes view of what coaching is. And then, it would be your job to talk to the person and kind of give them more information, obviously. So that was something I was going to let you guys know that we will. If you want to join in on Micah's this week, you absolutely can. But we will be hosting one next week, just so that it doesn't, or the week after, sorry, that it doesn't mess with our sneak peek that we're going to have all week, because some people still like to have the whole week and others, want to have just one day. So be thinking about that. Obviously, I'll share the graphic and share all the information about when we actually do that group in the next 2 weeks, but the sneak peek will be next week. So I would suggest promoting that tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe even creating an event and like specifically inviting people. I've done that for the last few, and that's been really successful. Not inviting your whole friends list like you do to a free group, but specifically pinpointing certain people who you think that it would, that it would benefit. Any questions about that, about the sneak peek, or about what a Backstage Pass is, like the whole idea of it? Suggestions, things you don't like, anything before we move on? No? Okay, cool. Everyone seems so tired. Okay.
I have a question, of course.
Yeah. Michelle.
So you guys may have talked about this since I hopped on a couple minutes late, but here's my hot date. She wants to say hi.
Hi.
I have a question about inviting to this type of thing. Like Micah talked about last night, like sending some people just literally like an evite to the event. I mean, is that like something that you would do or would you personally message everybody? Or would it be too casual or too little to just send them the event invite?
For me,
That makes sense?
for me personally, if it was, I would send them a message too, just because I would say, hey, I know that we either talked about coaching in the past, or if you're interested, it's no strings attached. It's just an hour, and you can hop on anytime you want, that kind of thing. I probably would let them know, not just send them some, because I know for me, people invite me to events and things all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I just keep scrolling, and I just don't like pay attention to it, which is horrible because that's not what we want people to do for us. But
Yeah.
so if if someone if I haven't talked to them about it, or I don't know anything, if someone invites me to their Jamberry party, I'm probably not going to go if they haven't talked to me and they haven't told me anything. So
Right. Okay.
yeah, so I would send them like a little message and just say, hey, I'm doing something called a backstage pass to my team, and I never talked about coaching in the past, or I think you'd be great at it, or whatever, and then invite them that way. You can even just send them like the event link or something like that. But
Okay. I just heard a couple of coaches said that they were gonna do it just like send them the Evite thing way, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like too little to me, but so I just wanted to see what you were gonna do.
Yeah, you definitely can do. I mean, it's trial and error too. Some people might totally RSVP with invite to an event, and that might need it to be. Others might need it to be more specific. So to them, but it's up to you. So
I was thinking about sharing the event on my Facebook.
Yes.
But it's set as private, so I don't know if they click on that, if they'll be able to join.
Oh, that's a good idea, because she's made it. I'm sure she probably has made it private. I wonder if she even thought about that. I'll message her and see.
She did, yeah. She said, I asked her about it in the group, and she said, invite people to it and share it on your page. But then she also said, I set it to private, so everyone can't join. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just make your own event, and then just whoever accepts that one, then add them to the group.
Yeah, that's an option. You can add them to that event. But yeah, if you for ours, when we make ours, I'm going to make it open so that everyone can share it on their page. And then also people can just click the link to it. Because if you make an event private, I think it was Laura, I think, didn't you do an event private and you couldn't share it? And you're like, oh, dang it. Once you make it,
you can't change it.
Yeah, you can change the settings. So, so I don't think you'll be able to share hers actually, but you could take the graphic for the cover photo maybe and share that if you were going to invite to Micah's, or you can just.
I love the idea. I told you I loved that video of Meg's, and I love the idea of doing the backstage pass idea, but I just feel like tomorrow's a little soon for me.
Exactly, same. So that's why we're gonna wait, and we're gonna do it next week. And we'll probably team up with a couple other coaches too, and get just a lot of people in there, so there's a lot of traction and stuff, kind of like the big information one. But that way we can have, if anyone wants to volunteer to do a video, we can share some of the ones that Micah's girls are doing. That way you guys get to be more active in it too, because for us, it's just kind of us joining in on that one. And it would be kind of cool to have some of you guys sharing some videos, or you guys talking on something that you feel confident with, comfortable with sharing about. So we can talk about that team call, and everyone can volunteer for a video if they want, if you feel comfortable doing that. So
Ashley, we're doing a 5-day sneak peek, and then are we going to make one of the days like a webinar like they're doing this week? Or what were you saying that we were going to do next week?
Oh, we're talking about the backstage pass. That's what we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that's tomorrow for Micah and everybody.
Right.
And so next week is our 5-day sneak peek.
Right. And then the week after, we'll pick a day. Everyone can vote on maybe a Tuesday or a Thursday evening that we can do the backstage pass for our team, and maybe
awesome. Okay.
Another bigger team, and have people on, because that way we have time to prepare, and some of you guys can make videos as well, like Micah's Diamonds are doing and stuff too. So gotcha. I think that'll be a little bit better, and that way you guys can be more present too in the group. So but talking about sneak peeks though, I would like to do it's just hard because some people can't hop on, and it's hard to see are people more available at night, or what day of the week, that kind of thing. But to do a live webinar call where people can just ask questions and hop on like this and be able to, on Friday night, or, that's a horrible night, but maybe Thursday night, or, a night that we all think is good, and whatever coaches can hop on, we can just be there to kind of talk about some of the coaching things and be able to answer questions and stuff. So that might be an option too. What do you guys think about that? Or do you think that's just like repetitive? Do we really need that? Anyone?
I think you should.
I think it's a good idea. I totally do it. Sounds fun.
And see how Micah's goes tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we can always, it's worth trying at least.
Have
you ever done it, Ashley?
Yeah, we have. Keisha and I have done a couple webinars like really early on about coaching, just like us like filming a video, talking about it and that kind of thing. But I'm thinking like more and more sneak peeks are awesome, but I do want to do some other things that people might relate to more, like doing just a simple webinar for coaching. Tonight, talking all about coaching. If you've ever been interested, hop on and you can ask us literally any questions that you want and we'll answer. And then doing something like a backstage pass where it's a little bit more, structured and they get the information too. People just learn so differently that doing something besides just a sneak peek like we normally do for a 5-week thing, it might be cool to kind of sprinkle in some different things. That's my thought. But so
I think changing it up too would be good, because then we're going to reach maybe more people and not just do the same thing over and over. It's just a different format. Not that we have to do it all the time, but may touch more people. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, and that way it kind of gives you guys some more time or more like presence too. Someone could ask a question and you guys can all chime in and talk if you feel comfortable too. So, and that's what I want more of too, for you guys to be able to take more of like a role and be able to be more present too. So, that's just my thoughts on sneak peek. Any other things about that, or any ideas or questions or anything? Okay. All right. So we'll move on. The next thing that has to do with the calendar, I'm looking at my list. Okay. Fit clubs. Has anyone else launched their like wellness group or their fit club or anything? Does anyone have like pros, cons, things that are going well or not? Anything like that? I know some of you were thinking about doing one, but I don't know if you actually did it or not.
I haven't launched my fit club yet, just because I didn't have none of my previous challengers wanted to join. So yeah, I didn't have anybody to put in there. But I have a few more people now. But anyways, in our challenge group, we've like stopped with the posting schedule, and we just kind of post the way that you do in the fit club. Yeah. We just kind of like post throughout the day and post like tips still, but not so structured. And I feel like we're getting a lot more participation. Like I'm in a group with Laura, and I think a lot more people are more interactive. Sorry, when it's not so structured and there's not like challenges like we used to do with the daily schedule. So I don't know if that's like a tip, but people seem to be wanting to share more because it's more casual.
Yeah, that's like the feel of the fit club that I have going and stuff. If you're not in it, you guys can ask to be added. I think most of you are in it, but it is just like real laid back, and people have, I constantly bump up my success partner post in there, and just have anybody that's new, I always tag them in there. And I mean, girls are having like partners, and they're, people are having bad days or deaths in the family, and people are like, I'm praying for you, and I'm, here, I thought of this about you. And like, they're getting to know each other, which is really cool. And that's like what you want for this club, because it's like a community. So if you haven't done that, I really do highly suggest thinking about moving more towards a group where you can have everyone kind of just continuing on in there, so that it really does become like month after month a bunch of encouragement, and you just add, every time you add in somebody new, people get to welcome them, people get to, answer their questions and stuff, and that kind of just produces a little bit more momentum again every couple of weeks when you add new challengers in. So for me, it's been really successful. So if you guys still have questions on that, or you're still hesitant, let me know. I think it's gone really, really well. I know a couple other girls who it's going well for them as well. So
Ashley, I know I kind of asked you about this before, but like, so for when we have new coaches that come on, and let's say they have one challenger for the next month, like how do we best train new coaches to run challenge groups if we're doing like a fitness community? Like, do you add their challengers into your group?
Some of them, I've allowed them to do that, yeah. So they can just kind of, and they even, because they're new coaches, they're kind of participating in the group as well, because it's like they're starting their program in addition to their coaching. So that's worked out well because, and I mean, ultimately, what you're doing in that group is the same thing that you do in a challenge group. So that's kind of just what I do with them. And then I do, they join me for the free challenges, and I just let them know that, this is like the difference between a challenge group and a free challenge is the money that's spent. They're paying for a program versus coming in for free, and that they could run one like that without having either having people do it for free or having them pay. And then if I know some of you who still do the monthly challenges, so I'll have them reach out to other coaches who I know are doing regular challenge groups every month and stuff like that. But I haven't run into a problem with it. My newer coaches have been good with just hopping in, kind of learning what's going on, posting, and they're learning how to coach as they're also participating in the group. And then once they host a free challenge, they're usually pretty ready to kind of move on to that and get ready to go and post about the next challenge. So I haven't.
So then they essentially just start their own fit club then?
Basically, they're kind of starting their own group. And, if they don't have enough people, then I let them stay in mine until they're ready to move on. But yeah, so that way they're kind of already starting like that. And, and then there can still be like for my fit club, like I'm about to do a post for like a fall, like a fall invitation for, for my fit club. So I still get to like make it, seasonal and different like things that make it kind of different every time I promote it or whatever. But it's still just going to the same group, which is so nice. It's so much easier than having to have separate groups and everything. People have been really they've liked that. And when you send out, invitations, I think I showed you guys a bunch of my like 3 different invitations that I did this week, like different versions. And it's nice because they're like, oh, tell me more about the group. And you get to tell them all about, that it's ongoing and it's, all about encouragement and motivation and, that kind of thing. It's not something that's going to end, because a lot of them will say, oh, well, does it end like after 21 days or 30 days? And you're like, no. And so then you get to continue to tell them about that, and they get really pumped about that. So, but yeah, I think it's been really successful for a lot of people. So hopefully it will be for you guys too, if you choose to do that, or pair up with a couple coaches and make a group. That's an option too. It doesn't have to be just your own. So.
Oh, I just wanted to clarify, are we doing, in that case, we're transitioning to the Fit Club and we're no longer going to be doing the challenges?
It's totally up to you. So like, I just let you guys know that I'm kind of not going to do monthly challenges per se. I still like promote them every month, promote going into my Fit Club and doing it like seasonally, and maybe I promoted it with PIO last month. So I was like, hey, join my accountability group with and with PIO, or I don't even remember what I said, but something like that. You can use different programs and different like seasons and things like that to still promote it. But instead of having to think of like a name for it and create a new group and all of that, they just all move into the same group and they continue to get to stay in there. So, but it's up to you. Some coaches are still doing monthly challenges where you do different months. But for me, it's just easier to do monthly free challenges than to try to do monthly, long 30-day ones and then have to stop them and then move them on to the next one and constantly move them into separate groups and stuff. It's just a lot of work that doesn't need to be done.
So if we did do the both challenges, could our club start out as us posting just a couple times a day or a couple times a week instead of?
Some days I don't even post, like I'll just comment on all their stuff. So, and I added you today. Did you see my?
Yes.
So just look in there, sometimes.
I'm going to mute her. I'm listening. Hold on.
Okay. Sometimes I post like a motivational quote, and I say something to encourage them in the morning, or I just check in with my workout, or maybe I made a cool recipe, random things. And then other days I don't even post, and I'll just be commenting and liking and making sure to engage in their posts, so they still see me being active. But you don't necessarily have to post every single day because you've got everyone else in there too. So it's kind of up to you how you want to run it. It's more about the community and like the relationships that they're building, which is really happening in my group, which is exactly why I wanted to do that. So hopefully that'll stand true for some of your groups as you kind of transition that way, if you choose to do so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions on that?
I want to add on to that because I'm in Michelle's group and we're only on day 3 and I already feel so much less stressed I'm not gonna lie, from not using the calendar because
Yep.
one, it wasn't really my creation most of the time, so it was kind of forced. And even though it was good material, it wasn't my material. But I'm posting a lot more often my day to day, so it's less stress. I'm just offering my personal tips throughout the day, and they're just really real for me. Like tonight, I just went to the grocery store and I was like, I took a picture real quick of something that just like popped to me. And it just doesn't feel forced. And I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to post at 7 a.m. or else, they're not going to see it. So I'm really excited to transition into the wellness group. And I already have some girls that are interested after this month. But I will say, I'm still a little torn about people who are not interested in the challenge packs because, for instance, I have a couple pregnant or new moms and they're not quite willing to commit, but say they're willing to do the on-demand. So I want to get them in a group. But that's where I get a little tricky, Ashley. So I'm not sure that I want to add them to my wellness group or if I'm going to make a separate, like a mom's group for them. So I might consider doing little monthly groups like that, or like weekly or bi-weekly groups or something.
I was just gonna say something about that. So, I had the same thought like when I still did and I do have people in mind that are some that aren't drinking Shakeology and some that are only drinking Shakeology and they are just doing like the 30-day trial. They desperately did not want to work out, but they got Shakeology, and vice versa. Some that just did the program and really did not want Shakeology. And my main goal is to encourage them. And which was my goal, was to see people end up wanting to actually purchase something from seeing everyone else doing it and getting good results. And that's happening in my group. So it's been going on for over a month now, and people have already wanted to do that, even just from, I think probably like 7 girls ended up ordering a challenge pack between the month before and last month because they were able to try Shakeology packets when I posted about my little free group.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of them were girls that had never tried it, that were in my fit club because they got just a program or something, or even like had a program before and then decided they just wanted me to be their coach. So they never got a coach. They would just ordered offline. I let them just sign up with me as their coach and I added them in. So it goes both ways. Like, it is really nice to know that they're like actually committed with the challenge pack, but I will say that there is a benefit to just letting them in without having to have that actual challenge pack, because sometimes they come around and sometimes they end up getting interested after just being able to kind of step back and knowing that you're not trying to force them to do it, So that's been something that's been good. You talked about moms. I just created a group and I was going to launch it to you guys if you want to join in. That way we can all kind of support them. But because of those pregnancy workouts that just got launched, I have a lot of women who, although I would have loved to only say it like as, oh, you have to buy it in the challenge pack, you get 3 months free in Shakeology, but I didn't even tell them about that. I only told them about the free on-demand access. And so I created a group for those people. So if you guys have anyone who's like going to try the Beachbody or Autumn's new pregnancy, like prenatal and postnatal workouts, and they sign up with that free Beachbody on-demand thing, I did create a group for those moms to just go in there. They can kind of just post and kind of share what they think about them. All of us can kind of just check in a little bit and let that be kind of like a 30-day-ish kind of group for them to kind of be held accountable and stuff. And then that allows us to let them know, did you guys love the on-demand, that kind of thing, and then be able to talk to them about challenge packs and then dispersing them and moving them into your fit club or your challenge group or whatever you're going to do. So that was my plan as far as Prego workouts go. What do you guys think about that? Is anyone wanting to join in on that?
Yes, please and thank you.
Because I have a lot of girls who've reached out and been like, I would love to try it out. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to put them in my fit club because they're not committed with really anything yet. They could cancel their 30-day trial. So for me, it makes sense to have them in a separate group. So that's I do little monthly things here and there, but just not every single month. So I will post that group on our page if anyone wants to join in on that. And then if you get people who are wanting to try the on-demand trial, you can add them in there. That's totally fine. And everyone can kind of help post and share and just hold them accountable.
Yeah, that's awesome, Ashley. Definitely.
Cool. Did anyone else get action from that, from the people wanting pregnancy workouts?
I haven't even posted yet, but I have like 10 moms I want to contact right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's pregnant.
For real though, I had 4 more announcements today. That's 8.
So many bellies.
3 days.
I've got a ton. Oh, sorry,
From
Kingston.
you.
I scared the crap out of him. I've got a ton of pregnant moms in my feed right now, and so many of them are like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And then I tell them what I did, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to do that." So I think that the like actual prenatal and postnatal workouts are going to be really good.
That I found that too. They're like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't want to do 21 Day Fix or whatever the program is." But when they hear that it's like pregnancy related and they trust somebody else who deems it as pregnancy and that kind of thing and modified, and they know that it's okay for pregnancy, then I think that helps. So I think that you'll have a lot of people interested if you guys have moms and stuff, or if you don't, that's a perfect time to invite people who are moms or expecting that kind of thing. So that's good. Okay, anything else about that? No. Okay, what I wanted to do, okay, I'm going to share a document. I didn't want to just post it in the team page and then be like, okay, find all these. But in our leader page from Micah, so you guys know, I'm sure you saw everyone posting about the leadership retreat that everyone went on. It was for people who are elite, I think, and then obviously the top 10. But they just went on a leadership retreat and they have posted some amazing videos, and they're like short. They're like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, like not long at all. Jenny watched like 9 today, she said, and I watched like 5 this morning when I was nursing. And they're really awesome, down from like dealing with fear. What are some of the other topics, Jenny? Can you help me remember? I need to just pull up the page, but talking about like
take myself off mute.
Yeah.
Like being a leader, or like transitioning into being a leader.
Yeah. I posted one in our page today about like refocusing and like redefining yourself, kind of like rethinking about like, why are you doing this, and like what do you want out of it, and your goals and everything. I mean, just so good. And they weren't like these long webinar videos that some of them are, where it's like an hour and you're like, well, dang it, I don't have time to watch this right now. So they're like quick ones that you can listen to in the car. But I'm going to post a document in our page, and it's like, it's going to list all of them. There's a link to just like the playlist on YouTube of all of them. But then there's also a list of them, and they're defined by the actual title. So like if you're really dealing with being fearful about putting out your story or something like that, watch that video. Or, whatever the topic is that you're needing. That's just the one I just watched, so that's why I think about that one. But they're really, really good. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there before I just post that file in our page. But just so you know, that's a really great resource. So add that into your personal development, this week or over the weekend or while you're cooking and stuff. They're really easy to listen to. And it's cool. Like there's some really good stories from some of these coaches who are like top 10 or who are really great, and who you see them, you just think like, wow, like they just make it look so easy and they're doing so well. And they have these like incredible stories behind the scenes of like clinical depression and like, I mean, just all kinds of struggles and stuff that you would have no idea about because, they're on social media all the time. That's their job and everything. But they just, the way that they get to kind of twist their story and continue to like let people in and let them hear their story without it being negative, but also just kind of sharing what they're going through is really, really cool. It's really encouraging. So I'm going to post those for you after this call, but I just wanted to let you know that those are really, really helpful. So definitely watch them. And if you have like comments or anything about them, reach out to me and we can chat about it or whatever you need. So, okay, what else?
Ashley, can I ask you a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I have it's related to the videos, I promise. So I was watching a training from, I don't even remember, 2 different coaches, and I feel like I hear this contradiction a lot where I'll hear some coaches say invite, send 3 new invites every single day, like always be inviting. But then I hear a lot of other coaches saying like really build that relationship before you invite. And so I'm like, am I supposed to be sending cold invites or no? Because I've sent a billion of them and I am almost always get a no. So I'm like, I don't know if I should be sending those or if I should only be sending invites to people I'm building relationships with, because I mean, maybe I'm just terrible at time management when it comes to building relationships, but I feel like it takes so long like to where I don't have 3 new people to invite every day because I'm focusing on building the relationship.
Right. I'm kind of in the middle as well. Like, I don't send out cold invites all the time, like at all. I do more kind of like my style of invite that I showed you guys in our team page. Let me just see if I can find that page. Let's see. Bear with me real quick. Oh, this is our page. Okay. The one that I posted, yeah, it was this one. If you haven't seen this post, I like gave you 3 different examples of invites that I send or that I was sending. So this is like a long one, obviously. That was like an actual invite, like a cold invite, or well, not really. I had been talking to them and they'd been in my plank challenge and all that, and I sent them a little message like that. And I always send my graphic with it if it's like inviting them to my challenge group or something. That way it kind of just like puts my face to them too, and they get to see what I'm talking about. Okay, this for me, Michelle, I do a lot of invites as like friend requests almost. Like that's kind of like, I know it's like adding to your network, and I guess that's like adding 3 people a day, but that's kind of like a way that I invite to. That's what I consider it to be. So something like, you know, I showed this one about if I like the different groups that I'm in, like just sending them a quick message saying like, hey, we're both part of the same group. I don't know if you mind if I message you, that kind of thing. Telling them I've been trying to connect with other moms or other fit whatever, or, you know, learn more about this, I don't know, whatever the topic is of your group. And that's kind of a way that just allows me to just add them as a friend, go ahead and begin connecting with them. And that's kind of like another way to kind of just like invite them into seeing your page and seeing what you're doing. So I do like invites like that kind of. I don't do all the time just a cold invite like, hey, I'd love for you to join my group. I do a lot of this kind of message first, and then, you know, if we've talked or if we've interacted quite a bit, then I might, you know, invite them to do that. Another thing that I do a lot of, I know a lot of you guys don't have fit pages, and then some of you do. This is another thing I was going to talk about because it's been so huge for me. I don't promote my fit page. I don't do like sponsored posts or anything like that, but I use it as like a message way to continue to like interact with them. So when anyone likes my fit page, I add them as a friend, and then I immediately send them this message. So otherwise I'll forget unless I do it like right then. So I send them something really simple like this, like, hey, Jill, or whatever your name is, I just wanted to thank you for liking my fit page. I'm so glad you're following my journey of creating a healthy lifestyle, all by working from home and being a new mom. Tell them, like, I hope you find yourself inspired. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask. I host monthly fitness accountability groups as well if you're ever interested. Just ask and I'd love to share you more information. That's a really simple way to to invite them to kind of open up the lines of communication if they ever, because they obviously know what you're doing. They know that you're a fitness coach. They're following your fitness journey, your fit page. And so that kind of, and so if you don't have a fit page, you could still do this if they're just liking your profile, because ultimately you really are just kind of sharing your journey on your profile too. But I just use my fit page. So it's just kind of another way for me to like really be able to track who's liking my page. And then I can move them over to my personal page. And this allows me to send them like a good invite and that kind of thing. So that's kind of more how I invite, Michelle. I don't do a ton of, I usually do like once a month, I'll send out actual like invites to my challenge group. But as far as like weekly, this is the kind of way that I invite people. It's a little bit more mellow and not as like specific to a challenge group, if that makes sense. Yeah, I see you. I don't know if that helps or not, but or if does anyone else have any kind of ways that they invite differently? You know, everyone can learn from everyone else. You don't have to just do what I do. No? Look at her. She's so cute. Hi, Autumn Rose. That's awesome.
And say hi really quick. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Oh, here's some Frozen. So yeah, that's my little blurb about inviting. Because it can be so like just daunting to invite people. And I really don't do like the form of inviting, like where I legitimately ask them to join a challenge group all the time. So I think a lot of you think like, oh my gosh, I have to invite people. I have to say, hi, would you like to join my group? And it sounds like it's going to be really salesy and really like in your face. And it doesn't have to be like that. That's why I shared those 3 different versions of things that how I invite people. So whether they, friend request me on my Fit page or on my homepage, I send them that really quick little message, just letting them know, thank you for following me, whether I know them or not. If you ever need anything, let me know. That kind of just opens the lines of communication. And then also with groups. Be careful in groups though, because I do have some groups that I'm a part of, and people get pissed if you are just friend requesting them to send them a message to be like, hey, so would you ever want to join? I'm part of a mom's group right now for Cobb County, which is the county that I live in. And this mom posted today, and she was PO'd because some woman, people keep messaging her and friending her. And she's like, do you not know that you're a coach, or that you're this, and I don't want your it wraps, and I don't want your shake on. She would just this long post. So be careful about that. But you can still, obviously, if you've been interacting with them and that kind of thing, then they really could be considered a friend, and you can friend request them and send them an invite. So, but that's a little bit about inviting. It doesn't have to be some crazy daunting task, or don't push
sorry.
all the time that it makes it seem so scary. And it doesn't have to be. It can literally be just a really quick little message where you don't even say anything about inviting them, just saying, hey, if you ever need anything, like, let me know, that kind of thing too. I consider that an invite, or, at least a contact. So
that's helpful, because I do add a ton of people, and I'm messaging a lot of people. And just to hear you say that you kind of call that an invite is helpful, because I'm like, I don't have 3 people to just invite to my group every day.
Yeah, I don't do that every day. So I think I'm glad you asked that, because I think there is a lot of hype centered around inviting and everything. And it doesn't have to be like that kind of invite, if that makes sense. It can be a lot lower key than that.
Michelle, Micah talked about in one of the earliest training videos about weeks that she's not promoting a group, that she just cultivates relationships for her invites, and just
and I think that's why
ready to invite.
I think that's why I like the Fit Club idea too. It's not every month where I'm trying to do a specific group. It's more hey, are you do you need a community? Do you need support? That kind of thing. And it just makes it seem more community minded than just joining this specific group that's August related or summer. I don't know if that even makes sense, but to me it makes sense. But I just think that, people just need community. They need that relationship factor, not just feeling like they're getting put into a group and then it's all right, you're cut off at 30 days. You're cut off at, however many days.
When you started doing the Fit Club,
I was just going to say, Brooks, I think the same video of Micah, I always remember she talks about a season of inviting. Yeah. Where she'll do, a bunch of invites leading up to a challenge group, and then maybe have a week where she's not inviting, but still talking to people. So I like that too.
Brooks, what were you going to say?
When you started your, the Fit Club, did you announce that you were transitioning away from challenge groups?
Yeah, I said something, and I said, I know, well, at least 2 things. I made a video in my Fit Club when I did it, and I posted that on our team page too to share with you guys, but I can find, or it's on my YouTube channel too. And I explained to them, because a lot of them were people who were they're all already people who were in my challenge groups before. And I explained to them why I moved from a 30-day group to this kind of group, that I wanted, that their fitness journey is a journey, it doesn't stop after 30 days. And so I wanted them to feel a sense of commitment and, community and support for more than just those 30 days, that they can have it for a lifetime if they wanted, that this is a place for them to continue their journey, to not feel like it ends after, a deadline. And then I think I did say something on my actual profile when I posted my picture about it. I'll have to go back and look and see, but I can't remember for sure. But at least are at least sharing with people too, and just letting them know when they join. And I did let them know when I sent them personal invites. I went and personally invited all of the people who have ever been customers of mine took forever. And before I did that though, I did an event, and that was much easier. So if you're thinking about how to like invite all these people that you've had as customers, even like, and that's how I got some people in my group that were like just people who had created like a free profile or a free whatever, and they're like posting about different workouts, and I'm like, wait a second, why are you not posting about Beachbody? And then I'm like, oh wait, you were a free group person. Oh well, so they're still getting that accountability, and they're still participating in little things. But I did an event, and that's how I invited a lot of people that way, because it was easier. You can just scroll down and click all the people that you know are on Facebook because they were in your challenge group kind of thing. So that's an easy way to do it too. What was I just gonna say? I cannot remember. Oh yeah, we were talking about inviting and stuff. I will say this is kind of, I know so many of you guys have felt like really like blah, and like this time has like not been awesome, and same for myself. Like I'm sitting at Success Club 4 right now, so it's it's just not working for me right now. But it is all about like the season. Everyone does have really high times and really low times, and I will say that this is around the time that I started last year coaching in the very last day of October, so I consider it November, but it's been almost a year that I've been coaching. And I will say that like 6 months in, all of the people that I worked so hard to really reach out to and like send invites to, and not even invites, but just like start conversations with and make sure I was posting on their page and commenting on stuff, all that stuff that I was doing like right now at this time, like this weird fall time when people are like, I don't really care about getting fit right now, I'm not even thinking about it, until you hit like December when they're like, crap, I want to fit in that black dress for New Year's and I haven't done anything yet. But all that time, that like the end of October and November and even the beginning of December, that I worked really, really hard to send all those messages, those are all the people that came through come like January, February, March, even like further on in that, because there were people who, at least had that little bug put in their head, even though they might have said no, or they might not have even answered, months down the road, they knew who to come to when they wanted to get fit or when they wanted to have somebody to support them. So I just want to encourage you guys also to just keep the faith and keep pushing forward and keep doing what you need to do, even when it like sucks and you feel like it's not doing anything and you feel like you're just doing all this work for nothing. You're not. You are actually reaching people, even though they might not reach back to you. They might not let you know that, but they will come around eventually. So, or if they don't, they at least know who they could come to when they need that support or need somebody to hold them accountable, kind of thing. Does anyone else have? I don't really have much else besides that. I think I'm good with what oh no, I wanted to share one other thing and then I'll take any questions. No, 2 more things. Super Saturday this weekend. Are you guys going? Yeah? Some people? Okay, awesome. So I don't know who my Georgia girls are going, but hopefully some of y'all will be coming with me. But I really, really encourage you to go. Even if you have to drive like an hour or even 2, go to it, because they really are so awesome. And it's so cool to be able to share about that too. And it just kind of gives you a little pump up. You get to hear so many cool testimonials and stories and that kind of thing. And you just get to meet so many other coaches, and it's just a really good time to kind of just get some extra personal development. You leave feeling kind of refreshed, and you come back and you're ready to go again. So it's kind of just that little pump up that you might need. So I do encourage you guys to go if you can. And then the last thing, I think I have 4 of you who are Diamond coaches, and the rest of you are pushing hard for it. But I wanted to share something that was, if you're not in our Diamond Dash group, I wanted to share this with you because this is kind of cool to kind of be able to think. Sometimes it's hard to like think. Can you see that? Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to visualize in your head, like all your coaches and where they're going and how many you still need and that kind of thing. So I wanted to I put this in our Google Drive, and it's in the coaching resources folder. So you click on Inspiration Crew and then click on Coaching Resources, and it's called the Diamond Roadmap. And that's kind of like, for those of you who are pushing for this, maybe you want to just be an Emerald coach, or maybe you don't really even care about your rank, you're just in it for the discount, that kind of thing. That's totally fine. But for those of you, I do know most of you at least want to get to Diamond. So I wanted to share this and just post it for you so that you could print it out. And it really helps. When I was starting out as a coach, it helped me so much to kind of visualize myself, here, and then be able to write out all my coaches as I was adding them and moving on and kind of seeing how much closer I was. And it also helped me too to remember, okay, this next coach is signing up. They need to be on my left side or they need to be on my right side, that kind of thing. So just wanted to share that as a resource with you if you're very visual like I am. And it kind of helps you to see your downline and be able to kind of make a game plan. And if you want for me to hop on and chat with you about it or help you come up with a game plan, then just send me a message and I'm happy to do that. We can schedule a call and talk about it. So that's all I have from me. Does anyone have questions or anything before we finish out?
I have a question, actually. So I feel like I'm going crazy with lists of people. So are you use your Excel spreadsheet for who you've reached out to build a relationship, and then you move them to another list when you're going to send them an invite, and then you move them to another list when they join a challenge group? Like, how do you handle that?
I use my power of threes. So I write it down there, and then like at the end of the month, I'll go back because I date all of mine and I put them in a Google folder. So at the end of the month, I'll go back through and, so let me back up. So in my power of threes, like for example, Monday, I sent out a ton of invites and I just say, Elizabeth - invite to Fit Club. Okay. So then maybe on Tuesday, maybe you've answered me back and we've chatted. So I put you on that line again. I say, Elizabeth sent information to sign up or something like that. I update what I did to that, what not did to that person, did with how I talked to them, whatever. That sounds weird. But I update what I, discussed with them. And then at the end of the month, you're still sitting there, sent information to sign up. Okay, well, Elizabeth, we never followed up with her. So I go and I would message you again. And I'd be like, hey girl, we talked about you ordering Pio. I don't know if you're interested, but it's the end of the month. The promotion's going off sale. Just wanted to reach out to you. That's how I do it. I don't do a bunch of different pages or anything like that. I just go back to my power of threes list.
And do you still do, I've been trying to implement Acacia's video where you have like the Monday list and the Tuesday list. Do you work that in there somehow?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Acacia's video where you create the list for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you incorporate that somewhere in there also?
I pretty much just click on those and I spend like 10 minutes just kind of like scrolling through the feed and liking and commenting on a few pictures.
But you're not writing down each person you comment on or each person.
No. Okay. Well, only once I've really had like a conversation with them do I really put them into my power of threes kind of thing. Yeah. Other questions or concerns or anything? No? Cool. Well, I have nothing else. So if you don't have anything, I can let you guys go. This is pretty close. I guess it was an hour. I'm not very good at making these 30 minutes, but I just have too much to talk about. Yeah, that's all I have. So anyone else? Nothing? No questions? Okay. Go hang out with your families, with your husbands or your boyfriends or your kids or whatever. Go work out if you haven't. Yeah, have a good week. And I will talk to you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.